The disagreement in the Oval Office between Trump and Zelensky is beginning to spark a chain of events that could lead to World War III. Let's break down 10 critical developments that have unfolded since their spat. 1. U.S. pulls funding for Ukraine. The U.S. announced a formal review of aid to Ukraine, including cutting support for F-16 fighter jet jamming equipment. This move weakens Ukraine's air defenses, leaving them vulnerable to Russian airstrikes. 2. Poland goes nuclear. Poland, fearing a Russian advance, has begun discussions with France to share nuclear weapons technology. This marks a significant escalation in Europe's military posture. 3. Missile strikes on Ukrainian civilians. Russia intensified airstrikes on eastern Ukraine, hitting civilian buildings. The attacks exploit perceived U.S. withdrawal signals, further destabilizing the region. 4. Europe increases Ukraine's budget. European leaders, including the UK and France, pledged emergency military aid to Ukraine. This includes advanced weaponry and intelligence sharing, filling the void left by the US. 5. France steps up intelligence sharing. With the US shutting down intelligence sharing, France has stepped in, providing satellite imagery and electronic intelligence from its network of 15 satellites. 6. Nordic Ammunition Pact. Finland, Norway, Sweden, and Denmark signed a pact to standardize mortar and artillery ammunition. This enables joint procurement and strengthens their collective defense capabilities. 7. Ukrainian drone strikes. In retaliation for Russian attacks, Ukraine launched drone strikes on Russian supply lines, escalating the conflict further. 8. Rising tensions in Kyiv and the US. Mass protests have erupted in Kyiv as Ukrainians express deep fears over dwindling US support, raising concerns about their country's survival against Russian aggression. Meanwhile, demonstrations have also spread to the United States, with protesters gathering near the Vice President's residence, demanding clarity on America's stance in the escalating conflict. 9. NATO Emergency Meeting. NATO held an emergency meeting to address the escalating crisis, signaling the potential for broader international involvement. 10. Putin's ceasefire offer. Putin offered a ceasefire, conditional on Ukraine ceding occupied territories. Zelensky rejected the offer, vowing to fight on. What can the US, Europe, Russia and Ukraine do differently to prevent World War III?